Hey everybody, I wanted to do a video today on semen retention, and this was a requested video from one of our users, Joseph. And we're just coming up on our first year of the YouTube channel. I believe we gained about 2,000, around 2,000 subscribers. And the first 4 months, a lot of you original community members, we have a lot of them, which I'm very grateful for, saw that we only had maybe 1 or 2 subscribers every single week we only had 1 or 2 subscribers during our first 3 or 4 months, right? And it was brutal, but we got through it and we're growing and we're developing. And I never wanted to buy fake subscribers or any of that because we don't have to. I understood the value that the channel had to offer, humanity. And one of the first videos though I made, my point is one of the first videos I made was semen retention, and it did really good. But I deleted that video. And after being in a relationship now with Paula, I'm coming up on 4 months on the 8th of December is our 4-month anniversary. I started to gain a lot of awareness and insight, and through this new awareness, I discovered more truth. And I wanted to discuss that. And this video is not going to be PG rated. So if you are maybe one of the 12 or 13-year-olds that watch these videos, be careful. Be careful. Okay? And that's it. That's my warning. This is YouTube. In the modern era, 2020, videos are not always PG or PG-13 rated. Now, with that being said, I want you all to understand something, and this is going to be very quick. This is just the intro. This is kind of this is more of a walkthrough of the first lesson. This is more of a debrief from the first video, right? A review of the first video. We understand that in your semen or your sperm, you have your DNA. This is the science. This is as far as modern science is able to go, because science is still catching up to all of this, spirituality and spiritual science of life, right? That Albert Einstein and Nikola Tesla studied, which I also have had the privilege to study my entire life. It's called the science of life. We understand that in a female's egg, for all of you females watching this video, that it's the same thing. Right? We have the egg and we have the sperm. Now, I'm going to dive a little bit deeper. In ancient Buddhism, or ancient, more of the different side of the hemisphere, if you're living in the United States or Canada, we have the other practices, that we have a sacral chakra. You have your sacral chakra, which is the area around your reproductive system. And the sacral chakra is related and connected to your creativity and your emotional well-being. And for all of you that have been sexually active in your life to any extent, and by any extent, I mean, depending on how long you've been in your relationship or your past relationships, well, your eyes are going to get really big when you hear the analogies that we have with the sacral chakra, right? Emotional well-being and creativity. And we understand, right, scientifically, that all of your body is a molecular structure that's vibrating accordingly to your thoughts. Your thoughts create your emotion. Your subconscious mind has 55,000 to 75,000 thoughts a day in your subconscious mind. The body is just a molecular structure. Energy is all that there is. When you stare at the back of somebody's head without even touching them, they're going to turn around, right? Because energy is all that there is. This part of your energy, right, and your subconscious mind is what guides your soul. When you discover and love yourself on the inside, you discover your unique character, your personality, your talents and your whatever it may be, all of who you are on the inside, you start to discover and awaken. And then you want to grow and develop your character, your talents, to where you just make, astrology look like the complete BS that it is. Like 3 or 4 personality traits for one person. I'm like, when you discover yourself on the inside, you discover all kinds of characteristic traits that you can love about yourself, and then you can grow more and more and more and more and more, not just 3 or 4. And this is the power we have as creators, created in the Creator's highest image. And I don't want to get off track, but all of who you are on the inside, and your subconscious mind, your paradigms, and as you listen to subliminal messages, the subliminal messages guide your soul out into the world. And the more subliminal messages you listen to, the more positive and higher vibrating experiences you're going to have that help you grow on the inside as a person, personal development. And as you grow and you develop, right, all of your soul and who you are, your spiritual fingerprint is right there. And it's why it's connected to your emotional state of being, well-being. And it takes a while, depending on how fast you can grow or develop, or personal development, it can take time for some people to let go of old energy from old partners, because it's all stuck right there. And creativity, this is why it's associated with creativity, because creative energy comes from within, all of who you are. When I wrote the Book of Life, and I'm writing, life and death, the life and death, like kind of like a little bit of Lord of the Rings mixed with a bunch of other ideas that haven't been done before, but fantasy, it's a reflection of who I am. When I make these videos, or you make videos, or you take pictures and put them on your Instagram and Facebook, it's a reflection of who you are. You're creating. And a lot of people believe in the next 10, 20 years, you're either going to be a creator or a healer. We're all going to have to be creators. And you're going to have your 400 trillion to 1 unique self on the inside creating. And this is why it's associated with creativity. Now, in the book Think and Grow Rich, there's something called sexual abstinence. And a lot of these self-help gurus talk about semen retention, increasing your creativity. Increasing your creativity through semen retention. Now that we're all caught up, we're all reviewed, right? We're all up to date from the first video, where we understand semen retention and the basics of what it is, the basic philosophy. I wanted to dive into this radical notion that semen retention for guys, females, and males, or all souls, is really going to improve your creativity and your well-being. I really want to challenge this idea, and I want to offer different perspectives. Am I going to claim that I understand the answer for all of you? No. I cannot speak for every single human being alive on this planet. There's always going to be exceptions. There's always going to be different cases. There's always going to be different people in different health conditions, all kinds of different things, different paradigms. But what I will offer, though, is some very, very, very compelling beliefs and awareness that will expose a lot of fake self-help gurus, expose semen retention in a lot of ways, or some ways. Let me take a sidestep. Let me pivot, right? From semen retention to lovemaking. And by lovemaking, I mean sex. When you are having sex, or when I say sex, please don't misunderstand me that I mean, sports sex, or, sleep with as many, no, I'm not talking about that kind of behavior. That's not lovemaking. That's not, I don't consider that. When I say sex, I mean an exchange with somebody that you understand and they understand you. True love, right? True love. That's what I mean by sex, okay? So when you have sex, right? When you have sex, and we have semen retention here. When you have sex, you are exchanging your creative chakra and all of your soul, right? Who you love and who you are on the inside is exchanging with that person. Is exchanging with that person. There is an exchange of energy. When you penetrate into, or you're being penetrated, the energy is going inside of you. The masculine energy is going inside. It's penetrating, or you're being penetrated. You're receiving, or you're giving. The female energy, right, is also though giving off energy too. There is an exchange, right? You go in, you go out, you go in, you go out, right? There is an exchange between both souls. One soul and the second soul. There is an exchange. And that doesn't always have to be down there. There's different forms of sex. There's oral sex, right? There's different kinds. So you have the exchange, right? Going in and out, whichever one it may be, while you're making love. Now, when you ejaculate, as a female or as a male, right? It may be once, it may be twice, it may be 3 times, I don't know. That's between you and your significant other. I don't want to know. But when you ejaculate and you finish, there is a very, very powerful release of energy. Very, very powerful release of energy. It's so powerful, you can create an entire new life form. And your thoughts, real quick, I really want you to understand this. I don't want you just to know and repeat. Any fool can know, a wise man understands, Albert Einstein. Your thoughts create energy and emotion. Your thoughts create the neural pathways in your brain. Your thoughts create the physical brain. Your thoughts create the physical brain. Our thoughts create the physical world. The physical world is an illusion that stimulates from our thoughts. All of this was once in somebody's mind. This was an idea in somebody's mind, their thoughts. Therefore, the creator, or the one, God, whatever you want to call the creator, you have to be very careful, don't adulterate it. But the creator's thoughts are what, through the vibration of miracles and love, that all of the plants and trees vibrate on, right? The vibration of miracles and love that all of life scientifically vibrates on. The creator's thoughts, through this vibration, created Earth. It was actually the masculine energy is love, right? Or the thoughts. And it was the love, or the semen, that brought planet Earth, Mother Earth, to life. It impregnated her. That's the science behind it. Now, I don't want to get off track. I want you to really understand that, because when you are ejaculating, back to sex, when you're having sex and you ejaculate, there is a powerful energy release, enough energy to create an entire new life form. And that exchange is back and forth. And if only one of you is ejaculating, right? If only one of you ejaculates and the other one doesn't ejaculate, well, if you're still orgasming in between the ejaculations, and this is why it's very important to actually really understand and love each other, for you can reach that intensity where you're having, 20, 30, 40 orgasms every single time you make love, and you're having, 4, 5, 6 ejaculations, whatever it may be. But if only one person ejaculates, but you're still orgasming, you're still exchanging energy. And this is why this is why if you just masturbate, you just feel so exhausted, right? You feel so exhausted after you masturbate, and you just feel so dull and so empty. Well, you just released all of your life force, all of who you are, just released it all. Of course you're going to be burnt out. Of course you're going to be unmotivated. Of course you're not going to be creative. You just got rid of all of your creative energy, all of your life. You just chopped yourself off. Now you will always grow back. Even an entire forest could be burnt down, but that forest is still going to grow back. An entire underwater sea community can be destroyed, but it'll still grow back. You'll still grow back. And this is why when people go long periods without masturbating or making love to themselves, they have so much buildup of who they are, right? So much creative energy, so much of themselves building up. A lot of times they don't know what to do with it. And this is where this comes in. And if you haven't discovered yourself on the inside, it's a different sensation. But when you understand and love yourself on the inside, and you understand how the creative and spiritual mind works, and by that I mean your imagination, your creativity, your intuition, your perspective, your subconscious mind. When you understand how the creative mind works and who you are on the inside, the longer you go, the more abstinent you are, the more good you feel, the more creativity you have, the more exercising you can do, the more creative projects you can do, the more motivation you have. And you can still make love to yourself just without ejaculating as a male or a female. And the positives or the good things about this, and this is where this semen retention video is going to end, or the second half is going to be completely different, or the last 5-6 minutes is going to be a lot different than other semen retention videos. Because even when you understand and you love yourself on the inside, right, or even if you're just discovering yourself, then you understand the longer you go without ejaculating, you just feel more alive, right? You can exercise, you're more creative, blah, blah, blah. The benefits go on. Well, you can still make love to yourself, right? As a male, you can still, be making love to yourself, but just not ejaculating. You can still orgasm, and orgasming is good, and I'm about to tell you why. If you're a female, you could still be making love to yourself, but just not ejaculate. You can still orgasm, but just not ejaculate. And orgasming is good because when you orgasm, you're relaxing your soul. You are relaxing. You are relaxing yourself. When you orgasm and while you're making love to yourself, then you're not only relaxing yourself, but relaxation is the key word. And I smile because when you relax, the more relaxed you are, the more creative you are, the easier you are. When you relax, I talk about it in my subliminal lessons. When you're relaxed, you're able to change your subconscious paradigms. Your subconscious mind is more receptive. This is why when you're asleep, oh my God, people have reported results from our subliminals that are life-changing, instant, overnight success, while they listen to our subliminals while they're asleep, because their subconscious mind is so relaxed to the point where the paradigms just don't even resist. So when you make love to yourself, male or females, and you orgasm, it's good. It's good for your being. It's good for your life force. It's good for your aura, or what your emotional health, whatever you want to call it. Your energy is relaxed, because energy is all that there is, right? And you are now more receptive to creative ideas, like Napoleon Hill says. You are now more receptive to creativity. Those creative voices just come and go easier. You now can relax more. Now, this is where semen retention comes in, though. You have to have the strength to not actually ejaculate. Because if you ejaculate, you're gonna not feel relaxed. You're gonna feel dead. And we already understand why. So you have to have the strength, and the greatest strength comes through the vibration of love and miracles that brought this entire planet to life. So when you truly understand and love yourself on the inside, and even if you're just starting to discover and love yourself, you have the strength and to where you can not only make love to yourself, but you have the strength where you're like, I don't want to just give and release all of who I am. And this is why, if you are in a relationship and you're in a sexually active relationship or you're living a sexually active lifestyle, I don't have time to sit here and listen to all of your different relationships. I don't want to know. But if you're sexually active, and by sex, like I said, in this video, I'm referring to lovemaking. And we understand a little bit why, or we understand why it's important. If you are ejaculating and orgasming with your partner, it's okay to ejaculate. Let me repeat that. You can ejaculate into your partner, with your partner, while you're making love. Wear a condom if you're not trying to have a kid. Please wear a condom if you don't want a kid. Be responsible. But if you are ejaculating into your partner, or you are ejaculating with your partner, it's okay. It's okay. Because there has already been so much of an energetic exchange, then you're okay. And this is why you feel okay after you make love. This is why you actually a lot of times feel more alive, where you wake up the next day and you feel great. Because not only do you get to relax, not only do you feel more relaxed, but you also feel more alive. You have more energy. You have new life. It's like pruning the tree, right? It's like pruning the tree. You got rid of some dead life force, some old parts of yourself, and you got new life. And for all of you that are listening to subliminal messages every single day, you're like a tree. Every single day, you're a new person. You listen to 1 30-minute subliminal, you're a new person. The tree has grown, you've changed, you've evolved. And this is why, if you're like myself, or a lot of you guys that are listening to, 5, 6 subliminals a day, it's very healthy, and it's very good to have an active love-making life or sex life. If you're listening to 5, 6 subliminals a day, it's very, very healthy and good to constantly be, relaxing yourself. If you have a partner, to be letting go of some of the old life force. If you're just by yourself, to be orgasming, relaxing yourself out. And the reason why too is for you to actually understand. You don't just know. Since I want to pass on the understanding. The reason why is because when you listen to subliminals, as I stated earlier, you are now more relaxed. You are now more receptive. There's no resistance from the old you. There's no resistance from... if you're semen retentioning by yourself, right? You're semen retentioning by yourself. Well, when you orgasm and you give some love to yourself to relax yourself out, you're breaking down that resistance, the resistance barrier. You're letting all of your life force relax, and who you are relax, and just evolve and grow with the subliminals. You're just letting your entire being relax and just receive that creativity. And if you are not, if someone's if someone big ego and their big long beard is saying that no, semen retention all the time, no, don't make love to yourself or make love to your significant other, semen retention, they're going to be very resistant to change. You understand why. They're going to be very moody or very emotional or angry all the time. You understand why. It's going to be very hard to get into a creative state without having to drink or do other substances. You understand why. This is how you practice semen retention if you're by yourself. If you're with your significant other, that's between you and them. If you wanna just orgasm with your significant other and keep practicing semen retention, you can. But the benefits are the benefits are not there. And some could even argue that the more longer you go, the more life force you have, the more resistance you're going to have, right? And it just goes into the whole battle of how much strength and inner strength and love, or how much of yourself have you grown. And by that I mean, the more life force you have, the more difficult it's going to be to make love to yourself and just orgasm without ejaculating. But you can do it. You can achieve it through the vibration of miracles and love. And even if you are just discovering yourself, right? You're just starting to love yourself. That's all you need. That's all the strength you need. That's all the love you need. And like I said, you don't want to waste yourself. You don't want to kill off yourself. Now, is it good to orgasm? Like I said, if you're practicing semen retention, yes. Some could even argue, maybe every week or every couple of weeks, it's even good to, finish once. Just ejaculate once. To just kind of cycle the system. That's if you're listening to subliminal messages on a daily basis. Some could argue that, it's good to kind of cut off the old roots, the old leaves, bring in some new life force that's evolving and changing every single day. And not only that, that will relax your soul and allow you to change easier. Let go of that resistance. I think you all understand semen retention and the correlation between subliminal messages now. I don't believe there's any other gray spots, or there's any other gray areas that I didn't cover. Like I said, just to recap real quick, if you have a significant other and you listen to subliminals on a daily basis, there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to worry about, because if you're ejaculating and orgasming with your significant other on a weekly or bi-weekly, or some of us daily basis, and you're listening to subliminals on a daily basis, it's good. It's natural. Sex is natural when you are having it in this state of being, like I described it as in this video, right? If you're having sex, like I explained in this video, it's very natural. And this is why subliminal messages that are very natural go hand in hand. And even if you don't have a significant other, this is how you keep it natural, to where it'll align with your semen retention and subliminal messages in a natural way. And this is why, I don't have to drink alcohol or take substances to get all creative or into a creative state of being. Just meditate. Just meditate. Meditation's all you need. You don't need to take substances. Meditate with the love frequencies that all of life vibrates on. When I write my books, I always have the love frequencies or miracle tones playing in my ears. That's all the natural creativity I need. And when you create through the vibration of miracles and love, you're creating reality, truth, that all of life vibrates on. If this isn't the truth, then I don't know what to tell you is. I love all of you. This is semen retention and subliminals. Explain in depth. Male or female. Doesn't matter. Any soul in the universe or any soul on this planet. This is semen retention and subliminals. I love you all.